staying with us. In the studio, we have Ndindi Nyoro Kiharu, Member of Parliament. Thank you for staying with me. We also have Dr. Pamela Odhiambo. She is the Migori Woman Rep. Dr. Just before we went to Murimi, you were categorical. You said NASA wants an election.
Sure.
But on several occasions, I've listened into the NASA leader, Raila Odinga, saying there will be no election. Exactly. And he's not the only
corrections
one.
that we are demanding.
Can I finish?
Yes.
So he says there will be no election. 2, you have said that NASA respects the Constitution and the rule of law. Yet NASA is protesting to have individuals and officials from IEBC leave office. And listening into the ruling of the Supreme Court, they specifically did not pick out any official whatsoever. So these are people who are presumed innocent until proven guilty. There are constitutional means of removing these officers from the office. What does that speak with respect to NASA's respect for the Constitution? And I remember the Deputy President being very categorical. He said NASA may have issues with some of the individuals at the IEBC, but there are constitutional means of removing them.
Well spoken. And as we sit here today, I bring it to your attention and to the attention of the public, and I think there is on record before, even on Friday or Thursday last week, I think we had a presser that was telling the nation what steps NASA has taken as far as these investigations or the legal procedures are concerned. Okay. It's not that NASA has not tried to follow the law. I am aware that the ruling was saying in illegalities and irregularities.
Yes.
And that is important to underscore. These illegalities were committed by somebody. And what NASA has done, all these charges have been raised. But you see, when NASA got the response from IBC, which I should charge you to look for, we have it, yes. Yes. They said, these people are intact. And that is what now said, we have to look for alternative means. And of course, that same constitution allows anybody, even my friend here in Jubilee, to go and talk to the public court or the public parliament, the citizens. The other day, it is very much amazing. The other day, in Githurai, Kiambu town and everywhere, there were picketing, there were protests, and it was okay. But then, when NASA wants to protest and picket because of this, it is not okay. So the question is, are all animals equal or some are more equal than others?
God.
Leader, it is laughable speaking, listening to my sister, Daktari, that his presidential candidate is ready for the elections on 26th. Even while we were seated here, we saw his battalion in Parliament yesterday, claiming ably on the floor of the House that there will be no elections on 26th. And the litany of issues, Leader, I can tell you, we have no problem with having improvements within IEBC.
But you've just said you're okay with IEBC as is.
What we are not okay with is us implementing the so-called minimum or whatever demands. We believe we can always make progress. But the demand from NASA is not the path to progress. It is the path to stalling elections that we have scheduled on 26th. And I can tell you, Leader, NASA have never been ready for elections. That is why, even if we actually implement all their 19 or so irreducible minimums, they'll still come up with issues.
No.
We saw them come up with issues about KDF. We saw them come up with issues about police. We saw Saffron Morpho, which was brought by the former Prime Minister himself. We saw them, they have been against the printer. Yesterday against Safaricom, the same platform they are using to raise money from Kenyans. They have issues that are endless. And the reason why we have to put this to a stop is because even if we concede, even if we try to implement the irreducible minimums, they'll still come up with issues like weather because they have never been ready for elections.
Mheshimiwa.
And that is why, Leader...
I don't believe in that.
See,
no.
That is why, Leader, every single day, including today, we are going to meet Wananchi. Their principals, always with press conferences, always complaining because they believe it is about the process. To us, we believe it is about the people of Kenya.
It is I think it's about the process as much as it's about the people.
These processes are for the benefit of the people. So you can't disentangle the people from the processes. That one is important. And much as you are thinking, those people who voted Raila, and as per the records that we have, actually Raila won this election with a big margin over Uhuru Kenyatta.
Both parties are claiming the candidates won. So Jubilee says
the citizens, the people out there, I want them to take it from me that there is anybody who cares about each and every citizen of this country. It is Raila Amolo Odinga and this team NASA. Why? Because yesterday I had a very outrageous statement in Parliament. Somebody is describing Raila as the only problem, not the biggest, the only problem we have in Kenya.
I agree.
And then this very person is here representing the people with special interest. In the history of this country, I know it is in the annals, that it is this courtesy of the same Raila that we have a constitution that allowed for the representation of everyone in all the sectors of the economy and the society. Okay. So kudos to Raila. Now, coming back to this issue of the KDF and what have you, what is strange about my colleagues in Jubilee? They claim Raila is claiming, but it came to pass. I come from Migori County, where we don't even have an army, whatever, it's a barracks. We don't have any there. But just before election, to be specific, I saw with my own eyes 3 lorries, these ones that the army use for war. They came to Migori County. And the Migorians were wondering, why are these army men here? Why are the KDF people here? When this court was going on during the election, just before the judgment, as the process was continuing, we witnessed in Kisumu, Siaya, there were army men in the villages. And we were wondering, what are they doing there? You know, the question is, or what I'm trying to say, these cases Raila has been raising and the team NASA are not just mere allegations. They turn out to be true. Now, coming to the case of the saffron morpho, whether it is Raila who brought the farm when he was a prime minister, true or false is not the issue. The issue is, no matter who brought them, who gave them the permission to do the wrong thing that can jeopardize the lives of the entire nation, why shouldn't they do the right thing? And that's why I'm telling you, if my Jubilee friends, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta, had the fear of God in them, they would stop to wonder. Yes, this is our nation. We can bring any contractor to do whatever, but they have to do it right. It's not enough reason to say now that you have brought me to your studio here, then I do as I wish. You have regulations here. You wanted me to sit here. You wanted me to talk from here. I can't go and talk there. Okay. Now, what I'm saying is the fear of what this my colleague, my friend, you know, he's a close friend, this one here. Okay. He's saying
it's good that you get a friend.
Yes, he is a friend. And I'm praying for him sincerely to open and see what I am seeing. What I'm saying here is the fact that they are fearing that there will be other additional issues. He talked of a very important word here, improvement. And I want to bring this from my management perspective. I'm a strategic manager. That is the doctor you are calling me. I'm not a medical doctor. Now, the excelling managers are forever improving and evolving. The fact that you, as a manager, you made this decision today, management is based on this old Japanese ideology called the Kaizen, where, to sum it up in a layman's language, better your best. And therefore, even if there were to be other reasons to improve, I don't think we should have a government that says now we have changed so much we cannot change again. Where there is a necessity, we need to improve.
And Mheshimiwa,
I think my colleague here in the NASA battalion, they are descending into hysteria, because you cannot see an army lorry going to the barracks and then start claiming.
But she says there's no barracks.
There's no barracks in Migori County.
You never saw the lorry or the KDF officers in a polling station. You just said you saw the lorry on the road.
No, they were parked at the commissioner's office.
What has that to do with elections?
And they were, I will tell you.
There is nothing to do with elections there.
It had a lot.
You have to come to such platforms to inform Kenyans based on facts. the issues being raised by NASA,
Yeah.
they are not doable within the timeline that we have. And even if we had the capacity to do them,
Okay.
that will not be the end of raising these issues. But I want to give them free advice. You better spend the few days that are remaining by going out there to the counties especially, where you can get something. Because on the 26th, it is the Kenyan people who are going to decide. And about the process, I have to say, it is not upon NASA to know what kind of process we are going to follow. We have a body called IEBC, mandated by the Constitution, and any change that can happen within that institution is well spelled and cannot be dictated by one of the players. We have to let the referee do their work. And that is why from where we sit as Jubilee, we are doing all our best to improve the processes that we have.
Okay.
You see?
So
let
that
me just say something.
So that even as
you
we head to the
conclude.
26th leader,
You're
you have to
there,
look
Mr.
at
Mine.
what were the issues. Issues were not about the Daktari Kidogo. Issues were not about votes,
Yes.
how many votes. The issue was from the ballot box to the announcement of
The
the
transmission.
And
the
yes,
transmission.
and yes.
And that is why we are coming up with a solution. And we will be going to Parliament this week or next week to bring about changes and amendments.
Oh, I want to talk about those changes and amendments that you guys are talking
Yeah.
about.
Let me say what I
to
wanted
bring
to
about
say. That
changes
when
and
we are coming
amendments
to it, she has no
that
time
will
for
make
it.
us not go back to where we came from.
Yes,
And
now-
it's very simple.
now allow me to
the
say
issue
this.
is about technology. That is where we had so many issues at the Supreme Court. We are just saying this. We have
So
technology.
are these changes being implemented because of necessity or because of the outcome of the Supreme Court?
It is because we need them as a nation. What if this technology platform that we have fails? We need backup. We are not doing away
And
with
Jubilee didn't think about that before the election.
You know, leader, laws are made for men. Men are not born for the law. So we we have to keep on evolving based on necessity, based on needs. And we
Improving.
have seen a clear need. And one need is, for example,
You know you're now eating my airtime.
Daktari, we saw Supreme Court judges.
I'll give you your time, I promise.
Let's stop
Daktari,
when
tulia
we are
kidogo.
supposed to stop.
Tulia kidogo,
Sita tulia
daktari.
because
Si
my
uwache
time is
aongee
finishing.
kidogo.
No. Wait, you'll finish it.
Yeah.
I was saying this.
She's a bully.
No. I'm not a bully. I only obey time, rules. When she gives me
Where
time, I
should we go?
talk. What I'm saying is, when we are talking about the rule of the law, and even the election and all those kind of things, I love that Nyoro has acknowledged that we need to evolve.
Yes.
Yes, things cannot be cast on stone. Then we are not human beings. Now, having said that,
Not on the
I
streets.
wanted to say that look at what is happening. This meeting that we are all waiting for, and you are anxious to know what's going on
Yeah.
there. This meeting should have taken place earlier. In fact, when that judgment was delivered on first, the following day, NASA outlined these requests. And they were publicly given to IEBC.
IEBC.
And then they should have called this meeting then.
We
now,
called.
trying to buy time until...
When you say we, are you IBC?
Wait, you are not IBC. Brother, see, keep quiet. When we are buying time and then we now want to use the shortage of time as an excuse, I say no. I've been a teacher all these years. And when a student has done something wrong, they would do it wrong again, I mark it wrong. And they would do it wrong again, I mark it wrong. Until they do it right, then I put a tick. And this is what NASA is saying. So what I am saying here, there's been a bad culture which has been grown in our government over the years. The government does not understand the language of peace. When you cordially propose something or requesting for something, it forces. Like yesterday, now why have they called the meeting, or IBC has called the meeting this seriously time that these people have now to come? Because of the picketing of yesterday. Now, I'm praying, as I sit here, that God is going to give us a government that can listen, even to the smallest voice. This is what is lacking in Kenya.
Okay.
We don't have to go to the streets all the time. We need to talk. And when somebody is suffering somewhere, something is pinching my feet, I need to say, it is pinching me here. And somebody needs to pay attention.
Okay, to be fair, hold on. To be fair, the meeting that was called by IEBC was not called because of the protest that you had yesterday. That meeting had already been planned. Then at some point, when we knew that the judges were going to give the full judgment, it was again postponed to now today. So it